Alright, welcome back guys. It's time for the next project. Today we'll be working on a pretty awesome music player. This is what it's going to look like. You have your covers, your title, play and pause button forwards and backwards, and some controls here. You can click play pause, it's just an animation. You can skip to the next cover. We have quite a beautiful animation there. It's scaling up, going to the next cover. The title and the artist is changing as well, and we have these pretty awesome drop shadows. I'm going to show you how to build all of this in HTML, CSS, JavaScript. We'll also be using the Anime.js animation framework. And before we start, a quick shout out to Asif Adnan for the pretty awesome interaction and design he built on Dribble. Make sure to check out his work, it's down below in the description. Other than that, I'd say we get cracking, right? So in this video we'll probably be working on the HTML and CSS, and then in the second part we'll build the JavaScript functionality and everything. So first thing we're gonna need, obviously, actually let's pull up that window again. Not working anymore. Okay, doesn't matter. Just give me a second here. There we go. Just so we have something for reference. So first thing we're going to be working on is the covers, obviously. What we're going to need is some kind of wrapper. I'll call it cover row, because we have this row of covers up there. And then each cover will have a wrapper, so that's going to be cover one wrapper. Actually, times 5, I think. Just space them out there, and then inside of those we'll have dot cover one. Just copy that and paste that in there. Awesome. All right. And what we'll also do is assign another class to these wrappers, but we'll do that later on. That's probably easier. Then we also need a simple title wrapper for the title of the song and the artist. Simple H1, we'll just, let's just write something there. And a H2 for the artist. So this is going to be, these are German wrappers if you want to check them out. All right. Next thing is going to be the controls at the bottom of the screen. Controls bottom, of course. Controls wrapper is what I wanted to write. We'll need 3 divs here, and inside of those I'll just simply paste some SVG code that I've exported from Sketch. You can get the code and everything from GitHub. It will be uploaded and in the description. Okay, that's the first one. Second one, let's see. There we go. All right. And the last one. There we go. And paste that in. Format it. We're good to go. Maybe close those up. All right. Anything else I've missed? Yes, actually, I've done a mistake there. This should be options wrapper. So these are the controls we have down here, and controls wrapper will be the play button and the forwards and backwards. So this is the wrapper we need right there. dot controls wrapper, and dot controls wrapper will have a simple SVG inside of it, which is this is the forward button. Then we have the dot play button wrapper. Play button wrapper will have a button with a class of play icon in it. I'll explain that to you guys later, because we're building this play pause button with pure CSS and JavaScript, CSS and HTML. What am I talking about? And then the last one is again the SVG from above there. That's the forwards button. We're gonna rotate that with CSS. Alright, controls wrapper, forwards button, play button, and forwards button, backwards button. There we go. Anything else I've missed now? No, I think we're good. Let's see. Alright. It's looking good to me. So we can start off with our CSS now, or Sass. I'm writing Sass. It's going to be compiled into normal CSS with CodeKit. So let's define some global generic styles there first. We're gonna have margin set to 0 and padding set to 0 for every element. Box sizing will be border box. Then we're gonna style our body and HTML as well to have a height of 100 viewport height units. Width is gonna be 100 viewport width units. It's gonna be display flags. Flags direction will be column to have the elements displayed below each other, and justify content will be spaced between, because you can see those are spaced out. We have the cover at the top and the controls at the very bottom, and the options at the very bottom, and then the controls and the text is between those two, so that's space between. Align items will be centers to center them, and overflow will be hidden, because we want these to be cut off and not scrollable, the covers. Good. Next thing, let's start working on the covers. So first of all, cover row will display flags as well. Whoops. Display flags. Align items, center, and justify content centers to center everything, and we'll have a set height of 300 pixels. Whoops, what does it do? What was that? Display flags. Involves CSS. Alright. Let's try that again. Dot cover row. Display flags. Okay. Align items center, justify content center, and height of 300 pixels. Okay, that's working. Nice. Can already see it's taking up some space there. Next thing we're gonna need to do is style the covers. So what we're doing here to select all of them is going cover row, div. So we're looking at cover row, div, and then the div inside of it, or this div, or this div. So we're styling all of those. Quite simple. Width and height will be set to 215 pixels. They're gonna have a margin to the left and right of them of 20 pixels. Border radius to round off those corners 13 pixels, and then display flags, justify content center, and align items center to center everything. Next thing, let's first of all define those images. I'm just gonna copy that there because that would be quite repetitive. So this is what we're doing for the cover images. We're selecting cover 1, cover 2, cover 3, which are these elements. We're assigning a background image via an URL, and then simply the path or the directory to that image. Also, I still need to paste those images in. I forgot that. So let's do that in our image path. There we go. We have all the covers going, and we have assigned them here. Now, why is that not working? Cover 1 images are in there. Let's see. Is CodeKit saying anything again? Nope. Okay. Okay, let's first, then let's just go on with the box shadows. We are doing those by using pseudo elements, the after element specifically. Content will be set to nothing. Display will be, block. Height and width will be set to 200 pixels, so a little smaller than the cover itself. Margin top will be 55 pixels to push it, to basically make it display slightly under the cover itself. Otherwise it would be perfectly below it and we wouldn't be able to see them properly. So that's the margin top there. The z-index has to be -1 to keep it below the cover itself. And this is the magic right here. We're using a blur filter to blur the image, and a saturate filter as well, which is obviously optional to saturate those images a little more and get those nice shadows going. So if you look at this after element, which is for cover 1, it is a background image, which is exactly the same cover as the cover itself. So we have the cover itself. Below that we have a smaller version of the cover again, which has a blur and saturate filter on it and is pushed a little bit down. So that's how we get those nice shadows. Now let's check out why this is not working still. It has a certain height and width. Okay, that's good. But it does not seem to have... Oh yeah, actually. Let's see. Okay. So that's working. Good. Also, I'm just realizing background size cover does not need to be defined there because that's repetitive. You can simply say background size cover in there. So that's for all of them. Now, why is that not working again? Dot cover row, div. Let's see. Actually, the cover row should be a little larger even, 380 pixels for the height. Let's set a background color of red. Okay, so we do have our covers there. The only thing that's not working is the background image. Let's see. Something wrong with the directories images. No, that actually seems to be fine. It's fine as well. Let's check that out. Somehow. Oh man. Oh god. We have a typo in here. It's not conver. It's simply cover. There we go. Awesome. Now, why do we have the same cover everywhere? Why is that going on? Oh, obviously we have oh guys, it's still early in the morning, not awake yet, so no, oh god. So cover 1, then next one will be cover 2, next one will be cover 3. Yes guys, I can count, it's unbelievable. 4 and 5, there we go. This should fix everything. There we go. Awesome. Covers there, box shadow is there, drop shadow is there, and yeah, the only thing I've applied here is a transform rotate 270 degrees for the background image of the cover that's first being displayed. This is this one right here. If I take that out, you can see the only thing that's changing is the shadow. So I'm rotating the shadow so I get the nicer colors there. That's the only thing. Oh, that's the only reason I'm using that. Optional, of course. Just thought it looked nicer. All right. So that's done. That's good. Next thing will be the title, of course. We gotta style those. Title wrapper. Dot title wrapper will simply be display flex. Flex. Justify content center. Align items. Center, as we know it. Actually, no. Justify content will be space between. No. Always center. That's fine. Yep. Only thing we need is flex direction column to make them display below each other. Column. There we go. That's looking much better already. Let's assign the font family. I'm using the Inter font family. Give that a quick Google search. It's quite a nice font. It's free. Margin top. Margin top will be minus 50 pixels to push that up a little. Then next thing will be the H1. H1 will have a font size of 30 pixels. 30 pixels. A specific color of, let's just copy those in, that's quite easy. So we have a color, font weight, margin bottom, and letter spacing. Margin bottom is to push it away from the H2 a little. Let's copy that. H2 font size for that will be 16 pixels. Color will be a light gray, meaning we're looking at A5, A5, A5. And font weight will be a little lighter, 500. There we go. Awesome, that's looking much better already. So next thing will be the play button. For the play button, we obviously need to style the controls wrapper first. This one will have display flex again. Oh man, flex. Align items will be center in this case, and justify content will be space between, because we want the play button and the forward and backwards button to be slightly apart from each other. So we're using space between, and width will be 100 viewport width units. There you go, they're spaced apart from each other. And then we need some padding to get those forwards and backwards button back. So 0 and 95 pixels on the left and right side. There we go. It's looking good to me. Next thing will be controls wrapper SVG. So we're targeting the forwards and backwards SVGs there. Simple transition, opacity 0.1 seconds, so really short and ease. And what we'll do here is say dot active. That's to give them like a click animation. Opacity 0.5. So this is what we're doing here, this simple click feedback. I think that's nice. Then we need to style the actual play button wrapper. Play button wrapper. Play button wrapper, that's like the circle. So let's do that. It will have a fixed height of 65 pixels. Same thing for the width. It will have a background color. There we go. Let's just copy that from here. That's like a really dark blue. Border radius will be just say 100 pixels to make it round. Whoops. Oh, not border radius. There we go. Awesome. Next thing will be display flex, justify content center, and align items center to center the SVG inside of it. Then we need the box shadow. These are the values from the box shadow. I imported that from Sketch. It's a really soft shadow there. Let's set the cursor to pointer. And also, let's see. Yeah, you can see that highlight there. I want to turn that off. It doesn't look really pretty. So this is the CSS selector for that. WebKit tab highlight color RGBA 000. So we have a transparent background there. So this is turned off now. And awesome, that's good. Let's go ahead with the play icon then. So the play icon, I found this tutorial online which like described how to create such a play pause button purely in CSS and HTML, and then just use JavaScript to toggle a class there. But it actually turned out quite nice. I haven't fully understood how it works, but I'll just walk you through it, guys. So border will be initially set to 0. The background of it will be transparent. Transparent. There we go. Box sizing, border box, we have defined that already. Width will be set to 0 initially. Height will be like 19 pixels. We don't need any margin there. outline should be none, because we're styling a border there, a button. Let's see, where is it? There we go. Dot play icon is a button. So we want the outline to be 0, otherwise it would have this orange ugly outline. Border color, this is where it gets a little tricky. So what they're doing is transparent and then transparent again. So they are defining the 4 sides of the border individually, and the last one will be white. And then they've also applied a transition of 100 milliseconds, all and ease. That is to have a transition between the play state and the pause state. Cursor will be pointed here as well. There we go. And then border style will need solid, and border width will be 10 pixels, 0, 10 pixels, and 16 pixels. I played around with these values to make it fit for our use case here. So if we take a look and reduce that to 10, you can see it's kind of getting squished together. So we just manipulating these border width values to get the desired look for the icon. That's that. Then we need to define the paused class, which we're going to apply with CSS later, JavaScript later on. In this case, we'll have border style double and not solid, because obviously we have like 2 strokes there. Border width will be 0, 0, 0, 15. Again, I played around with those values, and margin left will be 0. We don't need that though. Now, if we take a look at this button and we apply the paused, there we go. You can see how it's changing, and now we would only need to simply apply or toggle a class with JavaScript, and we'd have a working play and pause animation there. Something else we need to do is obviously backward button needs to have a transform, rotate, rotate it 180 degrees so it's facing the right side. Awesome, so these controls are also done. Next thing will be the options down below. Those will not have a functionality, but obviously we need to style those as well. So what we'll say is .options wrapper, display flex, justify content will be space between again to space them out. The width will be 100 viewport width units, and then we need some padding on the left and right side, so that's 50 pixels, and margin bottom will be 45 pixels. There we go, that's looking really good. And div inside of options wrapper will be cursor pointer, just to get a pointer when we are hovering over these icons, which we cannot see right now because Chrome is changing our cursor there. But that's looking good to me. Awesome, I think we're done here. This is the basic structure of this music player, and in the next video we will be working on these pretty nice interactions there. I hope you guys could follow me. If you have any questions, make sure to comment down below, like and subscribe if you learned anything, and we'll see each other in the next video. Until then, stay safe and bye.